Salutations. May the morning not come and ruin the food that you forgot to put into the shade the night before. We are very close to being done with breakfast. Just a little bit more complicated than I had actually intended originally, but that's because I was like, well, I should make this. I could make this. And so as to not waste any of the things that I started into, I am multitasking a bit to try and accommodate the fact that, yeah, I do kind of enjoy variety when it comes to eating things. I wanted to make a confession and share something that just happened to me that actually hasn't really happened to me that often. And I talk about that, and I think it upsets other people because they're like, how can you do what you do and not have had that happen? Or alternatively, people like to push their fear of what it is that I am doing on me like I'm supposed to be shaken. And I'm like, that is actually your reaction to whatever happened to you when you were little. But if you'd like to talk with me a little bit about it, we can maybe figure out if you fell from some high place when you were a child after crying for attention because you were scared to get down because no one came over and said, hey, you know, instead of all that yelling and screaming, why don't you actually take a moment to think about the fact that you got up there all by yourself, and I bet you can get back down. But you were scared. And that is the thing that you're going to remember when you have to encounter it again inside of another form. I burnt my finger touching something that's hot that I knew was hot. It didn't hurt. Not really. Mostly I'm upset with myself because the tools that I have in front of me for making sure that I don't actually burn my finger were sitting all around me, and I just was overwhelmed in the moment of the thing that I was trying to not let happen, which is ruining somebody else's thing that I've been borrowing. I didn't want it to be a problem for them that I had accidentally destroyed something of theirs, and instead I destroyed something of mine, which is the cells on that finger, which is kind of a important figure. But all of our fingers are important, which is why when people lose one of them, it gets weird. There's all kinds of things that we don't necessarily talk about. And I have already gotten off topic, and I love that for myself because it is a thing that I do often. I need practice. Practice with certain types of things. Practice with fear and getting over it. Learning how to reverse away from something that I've had an unhealthy relationship with before in the past, or reintegrate it into my life so that I can continue enjoying it, because it isn't as if it was bad for me so much as the amount of it that I had in my system, maybe, or the speed at which I approached the thing. There is something that we don't talk about a lot. We don't really like talking about it at all. But there was a recent newspaper article about it. The newspaper article, ding, was regarding how people were failing to fully recover from their addictions because they were falling back into the same pits and modes of behavior after a very lengthy process of recovery. They went to therapy, and then when they got out of therapy, they went to try and start moving forward from those relationships that got them into therapy in the first place. But how do you move forward from those without having resolutions, setting up boundaries and expectations with those things? How do you, as a person who recovers from something, approach doing it again once it's not actually a serious addiction anymore? Because yeah, I do still enjoy doing that every once in a while, but I don't have the same kind of relationship with it that I used to. I learned how to go without, but it's nice to have a little bit of actual sugar in my coffee, or to have a glass of wine with my dinner, or ding, I'm gonna go because I love you, and I know that I have a problem with time management, so I should probably work on that.